Do you remember Jurassic Park? I remember Jurassic Park. I was a big fan of Jurassic Park as a kid. As a kid that grew up in the 90s, it was a seminal piece of my childhood when that movie came out. I still remember vividly going to the drive-in, the same drive-in that I saw Fallen Kingdom here, which we'll get into in a minute, when I was a child. And it was a glorious experience seeing that movie for the first time, seeing it on a drive-in screen. That was an incredible experience. And Jurassic Park has been a franchise since the original that we've seen other iterations and sequels and so forth go on. And, you know, I like The Lost World. I haven't seen The Lost World in a long time, but I liked that movie when it came out. Jurassic Park 3, it's a really bad movie. I thought 2015's Jurassic World was a pretty decent reboot slash sequel to the original that, yes, it had some stupid ideas. There were some really dumb things in it. But overall, the characters are what made that movie and that experience enjoyable. Unfortunately, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom takes all of that goodwill and throws it out the window with just one of the most preposterous plots I can think of in recent movie history. Now, well, I didn't like Fallen Kingdom, and we'll get into my reasons why. This wasn't a complete and utter travesty of cinema like Solo was to me. This was more of a head-scratching why, and we're going to get into the details of it. So, the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom are ridiculous and preposterous, and without going any further into it right now, I will tell you that this is a very spoiler-filled review of this movie, so if you are not interested in spoilers, know that I thought this movie was bad. And we'll get to my review score at the end of this review, so feel free to skip ahead to maybe the last minute of this review. As the film opens, there is a volcano that is going to erupt on Isle Neblar, or whatever the name of that island is from this film franchise. I'm going to butcher it, so we're just going to say the island as we go on. And the dinosaurs that were left on this island are going to be left to die. Now, my first major problem with this movie as we started is, why are these people having such a huge concern for everything that has gone wrong in the past with this? You have to remember, the whole premise of Jurassic Park in these movies are that these animals, these dinosaurs, are genetically altered versions of dinosaurs that existed millions of years ago. And rather than just let their man-made creation die, they have to have kind of an animal activist reason for bringing these animals back and saving them, so to speak. When we return to characters like Bryce Dallas Howard's Claire and Chris Pratt's Owen, they have kind of separated since the end of the last movie, and Owen's off building a house somewhere in the mountains, and Claire is part of this big animal activist group that is trying to save the dinosaurs. You get two scenes in this movie of Jeff Goldblum saying some of his famous lines in a courtroom about how life finds a way, and how at first he thinks the animals should die, but then at the end of the movie he thinks they should live. That whole part of the movie, disappointing. But what was more preposterous for me about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom than anything else was the fact that this movie is almost just The Lost World again, and in overdrive, I guess would be the easiest way to say it. So basically, Claire and Owen go back, they reunite, and they're going back to the island to save some of the dinosaurs, including Blue from the first movie. As you remember, the raptor that Owen can pretty much control, which is ridiculous, and that's a major plot point in this movie. And they're going to, quote-unquote, save the dinosaurs and bring some of them back, you know, and preserve them, and maybe open a new park down the road in America, so to speak. That's what they think. The reality of the situation is that this greedy, evil American corporation guy who has a bunch of money that is in cahoots with, I think the guy's name is Lockhart, who apparently was the partner of Hammond in the original Jurassic Park. He wants to preserve the dinosaurs, but this guy wants to exploit them for money, and he basically wants to have a giant auction to make dinosaurs be these weapons that people can use, like terrorists and shit. And it's ridiculous. It's so preposterous. And so you get Michael Bay explosion after explosion on this island. The island is erupting, and they're trying to save these dinosaurs, and The dinosaur CGI, it looks better than it did last time, I'll give it that, but it's ridiculous. They have to talk about the Indominus Rex like 800 times, you know, the bullshit dinosaur that they made in the last movie that was preposterous. It's even more preposterous here. And they finally get off the island, a bunch of dumb shit happens, and we get back to America, and they have this giant, like, underground illegal, very, very illegal auction for these dinosaurs, where they have created a new hybrid dinosaur that is so, the name was so stupid I can't even remember it, but it's a hybrid raptor, and I shit you not, they have a guy that holds what I can only describe as an assault rifle with the frickin' laser beam attached to it, and it produces a noise when you pull the trigger that alerts this raptor to go attack its target and shred and, you know, tear them to shreds. And it's ridiculous to me, the whole point of this. And they're auctioning off all these other dinosaurs and everything in this room. There's also a subplot with this other little girl that's a clone of a different character that's, you know, from the original movie, and it just, everything about this movie is bad. And I knew going into it, I had no fanfare for this movie going in. When they put out the original trailer, I was bummed, and I just was bummed through the whole thing. Yes, some of the dinosaurs fight, and I guess that's cool and that's exciting, but I wanted more. I expected more out of it at the same time, but I didn't go into it with the highest of expectations, if that made sense. But somehow I walked out of it going, man, it was even more of a bummer. At the end of this movie, they decide to save these dinosaurs and release them into the wilds of America. And they do. And they're just let loose. And it's ridiculous. So you have a monologue at the end of Jeff Goldblum saying, well, the dinosaurs and humans will have to coexist in the world because it really is a Jurassic World. And it's, oh my God, it's bad. And so overall, I was really bummed at the end of it. I think it has some good action and good set pieces, but it just felt like a really stupid Michael Bay movie. It didn't feel like a Jurassic Park movie. Even the last one, you know, as bombastic as it got at times, it felt like a Jurassic Park movie to me. This didn't, and that's what makes it disappointing. Overall, Jurassic World, I don't think it's a good movie. I didn't enjoy it. I don't have a desire to ever really see it again. I'm giving this movie a D+. I think there are some good moments. I think the characters are likable enough still, but there's too much stupidity in this movie for me to recommend it. Even if you like Jurassic World, this isn't the sequel you want. So, I don't know if I have an interest to see what they do for a third one. Of course, I'll see it, obviously, but man, it was bad. And it was disappointing. And this summer has been a real weird summer for summer movies. We've had some excellent examples of big summer blockbusters like Avengers and Deadpool 2, but we've had other just massive disappointments like Solo, and now this. It's been a really interesting summer. So anyways, guys, D+, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I thought it was disappointing. I'd be interested to see what you guys like about it or hate about it in the comments below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, until next time.